ruffled porcelain vase belongs to an unnamed Chinese industrialist. Number 14. Leonardo da Vinci Codex Leicester. What was once Leonardo da Vinci's manuscript full of the scientist's ideas, sketches, and diagrams now belongs to the billionaire and Microsoft founder, Bill Gates. The Codex Leicester is a manuscript that dates back to the 16th century, and the software engineer is said to have bought it for an impressive $30.8 million. This 72-page notebook is a rare glimpse inside Da Vinci's mind. With mirror image style writing and Old Italian, this codex is truly a one-of-a-kind object in the universe. Number 13. Ru Guanyu Brush Washer Bowl. Take a guess at how much this 900-year-old ceramic bowl is worth, and you will still be short a few million. The Ru Guanyu Brush Washer Bowl is a classic example of Chinese ornate art. The turquoise, delicate vessel with its signature ice crackle pattern was sold after a 20-minute bidding war that ended up valuing the bowl at a shocking $37.7 million. This little dish is 5 inches or 13 centimeters in diameter and is thought to be extraordinarily rare and virtually unobtainable. Number 12. Gutenberg Bible. The Gutenberg Bible is one of the finest examples of the earliest book printings in the world. Printed by Johannes Gutenberg in present-day Germany in 1450, this historic Bible remains one of the most expensive books in the world. While there are only 49 Bibles known to exist, only 21 are complete. For years, collectors from all over the world have been trying to piece together the incomplete pages one by one. And while the complete works are displayed in museums and libraries, it is thought to cost around $25 to $35 million. Number 11. Patek Philippe Pocket Watch. One pocket watch that broke its own record at auction is the Patek Philippe Pocket Watch, sold at a staggering $24 million. This pocket watch is the most expensive timepiece in the world. Its intricate detailing and accents make this Patek Philippe super complicated piece a must-have for any watch enthusiast and aficionado. Weighing about a pound in gold, the movements inside the watch are produced from 3 stacked layers that adjoin to create a stunning display. Number 10. Pink Blue Enamel Moon Flask. Chinese porcelain has established a name for extraordinary beauty and value, and the pink blue white enamel moon flask is no exception. This superb example of imperial Qinglong porcelain has a price tag of $16 million. Its outstanding artistry and 6-character seal mark date back to the 18th century, when the Qinglong Emperor, the 6th of the Qing dynasty, ruled over China. With a white shade at its base, intricate blue dragon-like shapes diverge all throughout the moon flask. A sweeping pink phoenix grabs the viewer's attention, as their center placement makes a powerful statement like no other. This 19-inch or 49-centimeter high porcelain art has 2 dragon scroll handles on each side, giving the piece a perfect finish from bottom to the top. What makes this moon flask stand out are its contrasting colors. Not only is the quality of the painting skills exceptional, but the combination of rich underglaze, cobalt blue, and enamel pink is extremely effective and flattering to the eye. Only a few porcelain pieces are decorated in such colors and techniques, and that's why this truly extraordinary moon flask is worth every penny. Number 9. Elizabeth Taylor's Necklace. One cannot discuss the universe's most expensive and valuable things and not mention the La Peregrina pearl necklace. Originally designed for the classic Hollywood actress Elizabeth Taylor, this pearl necklace was made by Cartier, one of the world's finest and most coveted jewelry companies. This amazing 16th century piece of jewelry was purchased by Richard Burton in 1969 and remains one of the greatest gifts. The 50.6-carat La Peregrina pearl is one of the most famous pearls in the world, and its history spans more than 500 years. Before the Hollywood actress was the proud owner of this piece, it is thought to have its start from King Philip II of Spain back in the 1500s. After numerous owners and world leaders, it became a James Hamilton, the Duke of Abercorn's family staple. Eventually, it was sold in 1969, and that's when Burton bought the La Peregrina pearl for just $37,000. Years later, Elizabeth Taylor commissioned Cartier to redesign the jewelry, and the historic pearl was then surrounded by diamonds and rubies all around. Finally, the story ends in 2011 when the necklace sold for more than $11 million at Elizabeth Taylor's collection auction at Christie's in New York. That day at the auction, 2 records were broken, one for a historic pearl and another for the highest valued pearl jewelry to ever be sold at auction. Before we move on, be sure to subscribe to Top 5s with notifications on. Number 8. Double Eagle Coin. Collectors from all walks of life try to find the rarest items with the highest values. While many fail during several attempts, once in a while a piece comes along that shocks the world with its incredible price and historic value. This rare 1933 double eagle is just that piece of art. Back when coins had more than $1 value, this incredible $20 double eagle is the most expensive gold coin to ever be sold at auction or amongst collectors. With only 13 coins in the world that display an eagle on both sides, this incredible gold coin has a value of $7.6 million. With a mass of just 33 grams and 1.3 inches in diameter, this double eagle antique comes with an interesting story. Collected and stolen by the illicit coin dealer family of Israel Swit, this $7.9 million piece was discovered in 2005 by the Secret Service, and after meticulous investigations it was found to be a genuine 1933 double eagle coin. As the price tag of this small object was so extraordinary, many have tried to replicate its value and beauty. While the concept of designs was similar in the copies, many details were inconsistent. Number 7. Napoleon's Sword. Napoleon Bonaparte was one of history's greatest emperors and military leaders, considered to be one of the greatest commanders in the world. His European domination and global affairs are now known as Napoleon Wars, and his war tactics are studied in military schools across the globe. The gold-encrusted sword is an antique piece of military weaponry that Napoleon wore into battle in Italy. This legendary sword was sold for $6.4 million at the Fontainebleau auction in Paris, and is said to be the last of Napoleon's sword that ended up in private hands. This particular piece is more than 200 years old and broke the record as the highest piece of Napoleon memorabilia to have ever been sold. This intricately decorated blade is just under 40 inches or 100 centimeters in length and has its signature gentle curve at the top. Its design and signature curve leaves the impression that it must have been attained during Napoleon's Egyptian adventures. Historians think that the French general used this exact weapon during the Marengo battle in June of 1800. After the general won the battle, he gave the sword to his brother as a wedding gift, and has been passed down through the family generations ever since. And while the sword was declared to be a national treasure in 1978, this $6.4 million piece of art was sold in 2007 to a foreign buyer. Number 6. William Shakespeare Signature. When William Shakespeare is mentioned, the mind naturally goes to his iconic plays and sonnets that to this day are still an important part of the English language and literature. The mind behind 39 plays, over 150 sonnets, and 2 long narrative poems is mostly known for Hamlet, Othello, and the world-famous Romeo and Juliet. His standard poetic form composed of iambic pentameter and his verbal dexterity is unmatched by any other great writer in the world, so it doesn't come as a shock that the English poet's signature would be worth a lot. It is estimated that only 6 Shakespeare signatures still exist in the universe today. All are found on 4 separate legal documents that date back to 1612 and 1616, the last 4 years of his life. Said to be priceless, if ever sold at auctions, each signature would cost around $5 million, making them the most valuable and expensive autographs in the world. 3 of the documents are kept in the National Archives, while the last remains as a part of a permanent collection of the British Museum. If you take a closer look at the 6 separate signatures, you can see how the name and writing differ each time. Historians have confirmed that all of these autographs are genuine and real, but that the writer must have suffered from a tremor during his last few years on Earth. Each piece of writing shows distinctive characteristics that clearly showcase Shakespeare's creativity and style. The K's in his last name stays the same throughout the legal document, while his long last name was often shortened to just Shekp, a common abbreviation style in the early 17th century. His signatures are not just small autographs with the writer's name on them. They carry a story and represent an important part of history. Number 5. Crystal Piano. If you've ever wanted to play a beautiful piece of classical music on a clear glass-like piano and have a spare $3.2 million, then the Heitzman Crystal Piano is a perfect choice for you. The Heitzman & Company is a Canadian piano manufacturing company that has been making groundbreaking instruments since the 1860s. This record-breaking piano worth more than $3 million was first introduced to the world during the opening ceremony of the 2008 Beijing Olympic Games, and is said to be the world's most expensive and valuable piano. Living up to its name, this grand piano is a futuristic masterpiece, entirely made from crystal, and was exclusively built for large concert hall performances. The instrument was played by the world-famous pianist Lang Lang during the 2008 Olympic Games, but is said to have been sold to an anonymous bidder ever since. And while the Kawai transparent and silver piano has come close to the Heinzmann instrument by its design and overall style, nothing can compare to the world-breaking $3.2 million Heinzmann crystal piano. Number 4. Honus Wagner. If you're an avid sports card collector, take a quick look around your collection, because one day you might stumble upon a card that is worth much, much more than you can possibly imagine. This world's most expensive card is the T206 Honus Wagner baseball card that was ultimately sold for $3.12 million at an auction. This iconic card was printed between 1909 and 1911 and was produced by the American Tobacco Company. This top and mint condition antique has reached such mythical proportions that it's often called the card. While many Hollywood stars, moguls, and business executives wanted to own the legendary card, this rare item has a controversial history and origin. It was estimated that around 60 to 200 of these cards were printed back in the early 1900s, and while many genuine copies still exist to this day, only replicas and fake editions have been resurfacing in the modern world. Not only are its origins a topic of controversy and debate, but its unusual size is also remarkable and noteworthy. It's often regarded as the Jump Wagner, and its proportions defy the typical T206 cards. Being slightly larger than the rest, this Wagner piece of memorabilia was actually miscut during production, not only making its height larger, but also giving it thicker borders. Due to its atypical proportions, this particular Honus Wagner attracted a lot of media attention that questioned its authenticity and actual value. Number 3. Bluefin Tuna. While most canned tunas can be bought at the supermarket for less than $10, one species of tuna is so rare and extraordinary that its price rises well above a couple of million. Bluefin tuna are the largest tuna species in the world and is the finest delicacy used in sushi and sashimi. During the 2019 Tokyo market, this species of tuna sold for a jaw-dropping $3.1 million. Naturally driven by such high prices, fishermen all over the world do incredible things and technologies for a chance to catch the rare fish. This particular 612-pound or 278-kilogram bluefin tuna was displayed at the 2019 Tokyo auction and was bought by the Kiyomura Corporation, whose owner runs the Sushi Zanmai chain. And while the rare fish has always had a high price and extraordinary value, the owner admits that he may have paid over budget for this particular piece. "The tuna looks so tasty and very fresh, but I think I did too much," he said. This bluefin tuna was caught in Japan's Aomori Prefecture and is the best quality of tuna in the world. But why exactly is the bluefin tuna so expensive and valuable? One factor that determines its price is its rarity in nature. There are only 3 known species of bluefin, and unfortunately, these fish don't breed well. The $3 million fish has a distinct flavor, texture, and complexity that is purely unmatched by the types of canned tuna found in supermarket aisles. Number 2. Triskelion Yellow Stamp. While post stamps cost less than $1 at most, one extraordinary 1855 stamp has defied any value and price. Known as the Triskelion Yellow Stamp, this Sweden's post stamp is not only the most expensive of its kind, but it is also the only one known to exist. What makes this post stamp so incredibly valuable is its color. While the 3 skilling stamps printed were normally blue-green shades, this $2.3 million piece came out as yellow and orange. To this day, it's not known exactly what went wrong during the printing process, but most historians and collectors believe it was due to the stereotype of the printing machine being damaged or broken. Somehow, this mistake was overlooked, and by 1858, the Swedish currency was changed along with the skilling stamps. Even though this mutant of a stamp was meant for the trash, in 1886, a young collector named Georg Wilhelm discovered this gem while rifling through his grandmother's attic. Now, decades after its initial discovery, the stamp has changed hands and owners several times, from the 1920s to the late 1980s, and more recently, 2010. This Triskelion Yellow Stamp has only increased in rarity and price. The auction house originally valued the stamp at $1.5 million, but it was ultimately sold to an unknown bidder for $2.3 million, who now owns the world's only Triskelion Yellow Stamp. Number 1. $1,000 Bill. One might think that a $1,000 bill will cost as much as its value, so $1,000. But that's where you'd be wrong. One particular $1,000 bill sold at a stunning $2.04 million. Dating back to the 19th century, this dollar bill is called the Holy Grail of paper money and was sold at an auction in Baltimore. The 1890 Treasury note is dubbed the Grand Watermelon due to its large green zeros on the back of the bill, while the front displayed Major General George Meade, who was the commander of the Union forces at the Battle of Gettysburg. There are only 7 grand watermelon notes to exist in the 21st century. This unique object is one of the rarest and most sought-after pieces of American paper currency. While 3 are in private collections, the rest are still yet to be discovered or brought back into the limelight. The United States first introduced paper currency back in 1861, and because the U.S. never demonetized its currency, the bill is technically still legal and can be used by its face value. But why buy something for $1,000 where you can sell it for well over millions in years to come? Subscribe to Top 5s for more and check out some of our other popular videos.